Welcome to Political Arena here on S24 Television, where we examine issues affecting the governance, public policy, and national development. Education remains one of the strongest pillars of national development. It empowers individuals, it reduces poverty, promotes peace, unity, and transparency. It also helps people to contribute meaningfully to the society. Yet, despite several government interventions and the effort to develop partnership, Nigeria has one of the largest population of out-of-school children in the world. Millions of children who should be in classroom are out there in the street, market, farms, or even displaced by conflict. The causes are many: poverty, insecurity, child labor, early marriage, weak institutions and weak infrastructures, and cultural barriers. But perhaps the biggest question is, who should take responsibility? Should the blame rest solemnly on government, or do parents, community, religious leaders, institutions, civil society organizations, and private sector also have a role to play in tackling that menace? Joining us to discuss these very important issues is Ambassador Mariatu Zakari, a Nigerian humanitarian, gender equality advocate, community development leader, and the founder of Marigold Bloom Foundation. Through her foundation, she has championed girl-child education. Ambassador, welcome to Political Arena here on S24 Television.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for honoring our invitation once again.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure to be here, and I can't wait to share my life on the above.
Ambassador, can you please introduce yourself briefly?
All right. Briefly, my name is Mariatu Zakari. I am from Kogi State, Nigeria. I graduated from Kogi State University, Ayuba. Currently, I own a foundation tagged Marigold Bloom Foundation. And over the years, my foundation has been able to pull a lot of projects to support humans, to impact the life of humans, especially that of female gender.
Thank you so much. Nigeria have experienced the highest number of out-of-school children across the globe. How concerned should Nigeria be when they hear that statistics?
Yeah, Nigerians should be extremely concerned.
Extremely.
In my opinion, extremely concerned, because when a country has the highest numbers of out-of-school children, it is no longer an education problem, but a national emergency.
Or pandemic.
Yes, because it will affect the future of the economy, it will affect the national development, and even integrational poverty, in the sense that when children are out of school today and they grow up with the mentality without being informed, being educated, or having foundation, solid foundation that can guide their life, when they grow up to birth other children, the children repeat the same thing, the cycle continues. And the poverty becomes a generation more like an integrational poverty, something that circulates.
Cyclical.
Yes. Now, imagine when you have 10 million children that are out of school today. It means children right now. It means in the next 15 years, you're going to have like 15 million young adults that are out of school, which means without no certificates, without no skills, let's not talk about job, or without any information at all. Now, after 10 years, another 10 years, you're going to have full-grown adults who are out of school, without skills, without no job, who are surviving on menial jobs or can do anything at all for survival. So at that stage, they are not aware of their action. They don't know the consequences of any action they take. They just want to stay alive. They just want to survive.
Okay, so what happened to a country where millions of children are out of school?
Yes, a country where millions of children are out of school is likely to suffer poverty, likely to swim, permit me to use that word, likely to swim in poverty. The pressure will be much on security agency, because when you have children that are out of school, grown up to be adults, they behave without even minding the consequences of their action, without realizing they're harming the next person. They want to survive. They want to behave with the knowledge and the information they have, because they don't have any existing foundation. So that country survive. There's no security agency would survive it more, would suffer it more, because the pressure will be on them, having to tackle crime, having to tackle fraud,
A lot of
having
things.
bandits, attack, different things.
So what are the major reasons behind the out-of-school children?
Okay, I think sometimes, lack of access
To education.
to education. I think poverty too. And I think sometimes one of the major reasons is people giving birth to children they cannot really
birth
train
control.
in school. Birth control. Because sometimes I've had a lot of people saying that it is God who takes care of children without minding to plan for themselves first. God doesn't come down from heaven to take care of children for you. You make
Even
plans.
God said that, like, put on your effort, then I will compliment your efforts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So God doesn't come down from heaven to take care of children for you. So giving birth to children without having any foundation, without planning, making plans for them to train them in school, they'll become burden to the society, not just you, but to the society as well.
So do you think that the government is doing enough in order to address the menace of out-of-school children in our country, Nigeria?
If you ask me, permit me to be very honest with my opinion. Sometimes a lot of people blame governments for a lot of things. But in this very one, permit me to, I beg to differ. Government doesn't really have a concern here. Anything the government do, in this case, is to help to get a better society for the country. It is not sole responsibility of the government to take care of out-of-school children. But let's assume we already have this situation at hand. What do we do to solve it? Then we can now talk about how the government can step in, organization, religious leaders, because religious leaders, whatever they say, people in their communities listen to them. Even the leaders that govern their communities listen to them. So when they present an issue before the leaders, like the local government, starting from the local government chairman, governors, down to presidency, they know how to pass this message across that it gets to the ears of governments, and governments may decide to intervene. And how would government intervene?
In your humble opinion as a Nigerian, what policies should government introduce in order to tackle the problem?
I think free education.
Free education.
At least from 10 to 15 years, or from 5 to 15 years, there should be free education for every child.
Do you think that is possible? We recently saw what the government have been saying, especially the government of APC, that they can no longer fund education. That is one of the major reasons why they introduced what we call NEL fund, student loan.
Student loan? Yeah, I don't see, to be very honest with you, I don't see the possibility. But I think it's something the government can do if the government is willing to do the right thing.
So why are girls more likely to leave schools than boys? Because, like, if you look at the ratio, girls are more likely experience out of school children than the boys.
Most times I'll tell you that, especially teenagers, when they've grown, so at that
certain level,
yes, they tend to drop from school. Most times it's because of lack of information. Some of them, they don't have menstrual hygiene education, and some of them, they have limited access to sanitary pad. Like, there was a time I went for a project in secondary school, and a particular girl child was absent. So it seems she was the bright, she was one of the best students in the class. So I was asking them to get a thing done for me. So they were looking out for that particular girl.
Oh.
They couldn't get her. All of them, they say, where is Sarah? Where is Sarah? Where is Sarah?
So none of them can attend to what you asked them?
Yes, they were looking out for Sarah. And Sarah was nowhere to be found. And guess what happened? I tried reaching her to, someone gave me her mom's number immediately. So I tried calling her mom, and I told her that, Sarah, speak with me. I am your friend. Speak with me. So I tried to cajole her to talk to me. And she opened up to me, Auntie, I'm on my period. That's why I'm not in school. And I said, why? She said, Auntie, because I don't have pad. I'm using piece of clothes, and I might get stained, people will laugh at me. So when there is lack of access to good menstrual hygiene materials,
It's also part of the
it's
major
also
reason.
part of the major. Some of them, they get stigmatized and they get ashamed. They even get pulled out of school with time for the fear that, oh, I can't continue attending school when I might likely be staying later. And then, you know, when you skip today, you skip tomorrow, skip next
You skip
tomorrow,
a lot of things.
you might just lose
Yeah.
interest.
Let's delve our discussion into security. Northeastern part of the country have been battling with the problem of insurgency. Do you think security has also compounded the situation of out-of-school children?
Yes, I think so. Because I always have example, you know. I used to have a lot of experience. So I think, yes, security, because I had a friend, when I was serving, I had a friend called Mommy Amina. So I was speaking with her some time ago, and she was telling me that Amina is not in school for the fact that they are kidnapping children from school, like bandits attack schools and all of that. So she's trying to prevent Amina from setting harm. Now, Amina has been home for 3 months without attending school. Don't you think that after these 3 months, Amina might decide to say, Mommy, let me just get something else to do instead of school? So you can see from this example, you'd understand that a lot of children, security has contributed to the fact that a lot of children are out of school today.
Maria, so let's go for a quick break. When we return, the conversation will continue.
All right, thank
Remember,
you.
you are watching Political Arena here on S24 Television. Let's go for a quick break. When we return, the conversation will continue. Welcome back. You're still watching Political Arena here on S24 Television with my guest, Ambassador Marietu Zachary, a humanitarian and girl child advocate. So who do you think bear the greatest responsibility in addressing this issue of out-of-school children? Is it the government, parents, community, traditional rulers, civil society organization, or all together?
I would, like I earlier said, I'll tell you that the governments and the parents bear the sole responsibility.
They have to work hand in hand, simultaneously.
Out-of-school children. Hold on. The both of them, they are responsible. But parents more. The role of the parents is the fact that you are giving birth to children. You can actually help the government manage this thing.
How?
By giving birth to children, you can train within your source of income. Because you're earning, your husband is earning 10,000 naira monthly, you're earning 5,000 naira monthly. I'm giving random examples. And you're having more than 6 children. How do you intend to cope? I don't know if you understand. Now, let's get to the government. The role of the government is here. If, for example, like in northern part of the country, we have a lot of out-of-school children. It's already out of control, and you cannot tell people not to practice polygamy. Polygamy is one of the reasons we have a lot of out-of-school children, especially in the northern part of the country. Yes. No, you can't tell people stop polygamy. No, it's not possible.
But they say that men are naturally polygamous in nature.
Men are polygamous in nature, so safe to say. Well, and they also believe that religion permits 4 wives. So how can you have 4 wives and then you're expecting to have just 4 children? It's not possible. You can see that the parents are contributing to these issues even more than the government itself. Now, it is this way religion has permitted. So the role of government is, if they can give us free education so that they can help us manage this society, have a society devoid chaos, devoid fraud, devoid crime. Because when you have a lot of out-of-school children, they grow up to be adults. All of these are not exception. Then we practice them. People will lure them to indecent and ungodly groups. So use them to promise them money and power, to use them against the society itself.
A deception.
But when the government take action, try to help us manage the situation, give us free education for the children, for the children and young adults, I think the situation will be manageable.
Okay, what about religious and traditional leaders have enormous influence in our society? How do you think they can come and cushion the effect?
The religion and the traditional rulers or the religious leaders, they have a lot of roles to play. Ask me why.
Why and how?
Okay, these people, they have a lot of influence or impact in whatever society, the community they govern or they represent. Everyone listens to them. Like if you're Abubakar, if you're an imam in your community, if you call a meeting, people listen to you. Even your local governments, sometimes some imams have access to local government chairman. So when you call a meeting and say, I want to communicate with the local government chairman, you have a gathering, a small gathering that also includes the community members, including the local government chairman. That is where your own influence reaches. Then you can tell them your problem, table the problem before the local government chairman aggressively. Let them take it further. So I say that if these people have powerful voices in communities, and you know that most times in this country, communities have a lot to decide. Forget that when you go to communities, when you go to local governments or in the village, you think that they are behind. No, they have a lot to decide.
Influence.
How do people vote? You cannot stay in Abuja here and expect to win an election except you want to do
politics is local.
Is local. If you want to follow the legal way and to follow the God ways, politics is local. So you can see that those people, they have a lot of voices. They have influence.
So what is your foundation doing in order to promote education?
Okay, my foundation is not promoting education exactly. Not directly general education, but it's promoting an education that influences the lives of the young girls, that also help them to determine either to be in school or to be out of the school, which our focus has been on them, seeing reason not to be out of school. And that's why sometimes we go out of our ways to sensitize them. We provide them with sanitary pad and other relief materials to keep them in school and also teach them the future ahead of them.
Okay, do you think that NGO are trying to solve the problem, or they are complementing government effort?
NGOs, sometimes I think that NGOs are problem solvers. They are solution providers. They only need maybe approval of the government in certain cases. In certain cases, they need approval of the government or to collaborate with government to get the thing done. But if you ask me, NGOs are more like solution providers.
Okay, there are communities that are still battling with the problem of infrastructure. You go there because we saw what Dambela have been doing recently. He have been renovating some of schools in Kano State. So how do you think we can address that issue of decay in the educational system?
The issue of decay in educational system, I think, is a problem of government itself.
Government alone?
Yes, it's a problem of government. Maybe if organizations or NGOs decide to partner, to collaborate, to alleviate the situation. But I think it's the problem of the government.
Okay, we are now in 21st century, and technology is transforming education around the world. Can digital learning help reduce the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria?
Digital learning, yes, it can help, because when children are informed, when there is a tech, when there is a foundation for techs, and children are informed early enough, especially from age 5 to 10 or 15, it will help, because you'll be informed. You see a lot of, especially social media, permit me to say, it has a lot of disadvantages on children. But when there's a technological innovation and children have access to the internet,
they can learn.
They can learn a lot.
And relearn.
They also understand how the world is going. You know, some children, when they watch certain things on television, they tend to explain to you, Auntie, do you know that his hand, like I have a niece, he's very smart. So she'll come to me and be like, Auntie, do you know that they can produce this thing? something she has no idea that this is how they
She
produce.
saw it
But
on the
because
television
she
or
saw it
social
on the
media.
television or social media, she'll be like, Auntie, do you know that they can produce this thing? She will be explaining to me. I'll be like, wow, how do you know that? She's like, I saw it on the TV.
So there's a popular belief among frustrated and aggrieved Nigerians. I intentionally use that word. School na scam.
School no be scam. Oh.
How do you restore confidence in them?
Yes, I think the foundation of that phrase, school na scam, is from lack of employment opportunities for the graduates. A lot of people believe that there are a lot of graduates who've been out for years without being able to secure a job. And of course, if I want to be honest with you, where is the job? There's no job in Nigeria. So a lot of people already have the mindset that, since there is no job, what is the aim of going to school? Hence the phrase, school na scam. So, but what they don't understand is, a lot of them, what they do today, the creativity they are engaged in, the things they produce by themselves, the entrepreneurship, the innovation, and other things they are able to come up with is with the help of education. Now, imagine the imagine the current situation of Nigeria right now, and there's no education. Just imagine what it will look like. Now, everyone seems to be educated, and then Nigeria seems to be the way it is. Imagine in the absence of education, you and I are not educated.
There will be no Nigeria.
What would it be like? So this is
okay, let's speak on that. Many children with disabilities also struggle to have access to education. What should Nigeria do to make education more inclusive?
Okay. Personally, I have interest in children with disability, especially the girls. And sometimes when I run into them, I feel emotional. I feel very emotional, and I try to always assist in my little way. And this is one area that I believe that, for example, when I become the president of Nigeria today, these are the first set of people that I look address. Out for. So I believe if Nigeria can have an educational system structured or carved for just children with disabilities, where they can, just like we have school for people with no sight, we have school for this, we have school for that. If the government can come up with something like that for children with disability, where they can be comfortable, nobody will be tired of them, nobody will say, why are you messing around the place, why are you there? Society will become very conducive, and these people, they still have a lot in them to offer. They are just disabled, but they are not enabled.
And I also came across one, is it verb or proverb? Disability is the inability to see the ability.
Yes, disability is inability to see the ability. Yes, disability, and then they say disability is not inability, right?
So if you have the opportunity to sit with the president, Bola, and governor, or the Commissioner of Education today, what 3 recommendations will you present to them in order to rejig the educational system of our dear country?
The first I'll present to them is free education. It's at least basic education for every community in Nigeria. Every community should have access to free education, where there will be private toilets, where the children will not have to struggle so much to access the school. And if, for example, there is a basic there's a centered community here, for example, in Guzape, let's assume Guzape is a community. Then there are other small
community
villages
under Guzape
around it. Then the government should provide a school bus that can pick each child from their household
area
every day. And free food should not be exclusive. Things like this will go a long way to help us have a better society, where Nigeria will have a conducive Nigeria, where we will not train children who will become adults and become a problem to the society itself.
Okay, in the next 6 months, we are going back to elect our leaders. What are your calls to Nigerians in ensuring free and fair elections?
Nigerians are tired, if you must ask me. Nigerians are tired, including me. Sometimes when you say people should come and exercise their franchise, they should come and vote, a lot of people will tell you that my vote doesn't count, so why should I stress myself? But what many people do not understand is this: you should keep working until you see the result. And when someone wants to steal from you, because you know someone is stealing from you, does that mean you should stop working hard? No, you should. They say 99 days for the thieves, 1 day for the owner. For us in Nigeria, 1 day is for us. You shouldn't get tired. Get your PVC, get ready on your track, and vote for the right candidates. Come 2027.
Okay, what final message will you like to leave with Nigerians, parents, teachers, community leaders, policymakers, and Nigerians concerning the menace of out-of-school children?
The problem of out-of-school children in Nigeria has become more like a pandemic. It's a pressing issue. A lot of children are out of school, both males and females. And my major concern is that these people will grow up and become a problem to Nigeria again. It's more like trying to solve an existing problem, and more problems are growing up to meet you. So if the government can provide a solution to where every children can have access to education, that way it will help us to solve the problem of out-of-school children in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Thank you for sharing your thought with us.
You're welcome.
Education changed lives. It reduces poverty, promotes equality, creates peace. If millions of children remain out of school, we are all affected, because today's children will be the leaders of tomorrow. Entrepreneurs, teachers, doctors, or public servants, government must continue to invest in education, but parents and community, religious leaders, and civil society organizations and individuals also have a responsibility to play. No children should be denied education because of poverty, gender, insecurity, or where they were born from. Together, we can ensure that every Nigerian child have access to quality education and the opportunity to fulfill their dreams. Today's discussion reminds us that addressing the rising number of out-of-school children is not only on the government, and it is the responsibility of parents, community, and it also requires a collective action from government, family, schools, community, and development partners. Every concerned citizen. Education is not merely about attending school. This is where we draw the curtain of political arena here on S24 Television. Thank you for joining us, and do have a lovely day. Bye for now.